So Frank, I just wanted to have this on record that you give permission for me to do a phone counseling session with you on your VA benefits.
Yes, sure, yeah.
Okay. So how can I help you today?
Well, I was wondering how you started the process. Did you go strictly to the VA? Did you have other representation?
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
how did you begin?
Well, the first thing I would do is, do you have any of your medical records from when you were on active duty? Um, for what you're claiming, is it a part of your medical records through the military?
Well, I'm a Vietnam vet. I served in, I guess, 69, 70.
Okay.
Uh, and I would be claiming uh, PTSD. I had a traumatic event when I was there. I had what they call a mess sergeant, the guy that cooked. He committed suicide, and
Oh, Lord. Uh-huh.
I was granted a Bronze Star on the way that I handled that situation.
Okay.
And I thought that I was unscathed by it. There were several weeks that went by that didn't bother me, and I tried to get by it, but I was pretty sure it did, because of other things that I've experienced, and this has been all almost 50 years ago now. But anyway, I find myself, I have claimed once before that was denied, but I don't think I went about it the right way.
Okay. Well, when you applied previously, how did you go about filing for your claim? Can I start that way?
Well, I went to the VA, and they uh, they examined me physically, and I went to I think it was a psychologist or somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and that was about it. I didn't have any kind of representation even, and I was kind of blind, just swinging, hoping something would go through, and then about 3 or 4 months later, I got a letter that said that my examination didn't rise to the level of having PTSD.
Okay.
So that's what happened. So I'm try it again.
Okay. Now, I'm glad to help you with this, and I wanted to let you know right off the bat, the VA has gotten in trouble from Congress for denying us vets for PTSD. I'm one of them. I had applied back in 2007. I was denied, and they, when this new bill went through, it was under the last administration,
Yeah.
and it basically is the Hagel bill that says that if a vet has PTSD or is claiming PTSD, and I'm quoting here, and it's my own words, that they have to scrutinize, and so I'm going through this process with the branch of service, Frank. That
Yeah.
if I don't know if you recall, but I'm having to deal with the fact of denying my medical retirement, and be it as it may, though, with this Hagel memo, the VA is going to have to really look at your records and examine them, and look at were you where you said you were, and did you experience PTSD? And that's going to be all on the VA for them to investigate this more thoroughly. They just can't, because in the past they would deny us and they wouldn't really uh, do their due diligence. I would have to say my own opinion, because it took me almost 11 years to get mine done, and I just
Wow.
recently got claimed, got it accepted at 70%, and so that's a little bit of my background, how I had to go through it. Now, again, it's important, like I said, that I stress with you that if you have medical records, and if you don't, your DD-214s, if you have records of that, that'll show where you've been in the country.
Yeah, I do. I have copies of my DD-214.
Okay.
I have one right close to me, but I don't have a paper trail of
Mhm.
I feel like when I got back in country, I didn't fall apart. I tried to raise my family and do what was right, and I've tried to deny, what I've been through for a long time, and I just wanted to forget it and go on, and I feel like I've been kind of punished for that.
Uh,
So
if
that's what I'm up against now. I know people that have gone through far less than what I did, and they were granted disability.
okay,
So,
and you know what?
but,
I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Frank.
um, one thing I think I definitely need to do is have representation. I'm probably going to need to establish some kind of track record or diagnosis. I guess it would be. But
Hmm.
I'm not quite sure how to go about it.
Well, I would suggest that from my experience, I would go through the DAV, Disabled American Veterans, and let me just pull this up on the computer, because I don't have their contact information right off the bat. Have you dealt with the DAV before?
I haven't, but I did. I went online and I did establish a e-benefits account.
Oh, good. Okay.
I don't know how to navigate it. But I know how to get. I know how to. I know where it is, and I have a password and all that kind of stuff. I can get into it.
Okay. So let's do first things first. What I'm pulling up is Disabled American Veterans, and they're right downtown in Indianapolis. And um, there's a gentleman that runs the office there, and he's really helpful. And if you're ready to copy, I can give you his phone number.
Oh, okay. Let me grab something here.
Sure thing.
How's that Elizabeth doing?
Oh, she's doing good. From what she's telling me, I understand that
Yeah.
the student that she's one-on-one with it seems to be working the techniques they've worked out with him. Um,
Yeah.
so,
I see her just about every day.
oh, okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, so first let me give you their address. It's 575 North Pennsylvania Street, room 324. And that again is Indianapolis, Indiana. And then their phone number is 317 916 3615.
916?
Yes, sir. 916 3615.
3615.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
I have 317 916 3615.
yes, that's correct.
Okay, I got it.
And then I would give them a call as soon as you can, and he'll tell you exactly, because you're Vietnam era vet, and you have your DD-214, he can walk you through what paperwork that you'll need. From my experience working with soldiers, usually your DD-214 and medical records, but in this case, you may not need your medical records because your DD-214 will tell them that you are in country at such and such date, and that you're being discharged. So when you look at your DD-214, it'll say that say for example, you're in Da Nang, and you're discharged on this date.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So.
It does say that. So.
Oh, it does.
My MOS was 91 Bravo, so I was a combat medic, and I was Benoit.
Okay.
In my case, I flew around the different fire support bases, bi-monthly, passing out military fields and all that type of thing. So I wasn't really in one place all the time.
Okay.
Basically in Benoit, yeah.
Now let me give you another web address, Frank. It would be the U.S. Army personnel, and they, because I had to contact them, if I can share with you my reserve record when I was in the reserves for the Navy to verify my length of service.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And
I'm ready. Mm-hmm.
Okay, sir. So as we're speaking, yeah, I'm pulling up their web address.
Okay. And maybe you can answer me this question.
Sure thing. Mm-hmm.
Concerning Agent Orange, of course, I have been diagnosed with it, but some people have told me that if you were in country for any amount of time, you were exposed to it. No doubt about it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Yes, apparently, and from your word, it depends on the date. From what I understand, when I've looked into this, because I try to claim chemical exposure because of when I was downrange in Bosnia, but they said
Yeah.
I wasn't exposed to Agent Orange. It more than likely was depleted uranium. So that's in my medical records with the VA, but they denied it.
Okay.
But again, this is where your service record will show when you were in country and the dates. Because I mean, I know they sprayed the heck out of the jungles out there. I mean, so they,
Yeah.
you know, and for the fact that and the dates that you were there. So, and that would be, I would say, your best bet is to again when you talk to the DAV representative, mention that to him. And
Well, again,
mhm.
before I forget, what did you say his name is again?
I didn't have his card in front of me. I apologize, but when you call the secretary there, she'll be able to tell you his name.
Okay. All right, I got it.
And actually, the website I'm going to go to, because this is not, the search engine is not working, is I believe it was Mill Connect.
Okay, is that the web address?
Okay. Well, let me give you the web address. I'm trying to pull it up right now.
If we break up, you could text it to me here.
Okay, is this your cell phone that I called?
No phone, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, thank you for your service again and your patience with me as I'm walking you through this. So the website I went to, and you can also get into this with your when you created your e-benefits. There's a link for
Yeah.
Mill Connect, and it's spelled Mike India Lima,
Mike, India, okay.
Charlie Oscar November Echo Charlie Tango.
Okay, start again with the N.
Yes, sir. So it's Mike India Lima,
Yeah.
Charlie Oscar November Echo Charlie Tango. So it's Mill Connect, all one word.
Okay. Got it.
And then on there you'll see these different links. And
Okay. So, tell me, this Mill Connect, is it .org, .mail,
it is
something like that?
okay, and so the full web address, Frank, is https colon and then / Mill Connect, and then it's with a period or a dot, and then it's Delta Mike Delta Charlie period Oscar Sierra Delta dot mill, and then it has another / with Mill Connect.
Well, that's a long one.
It is.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go to that Mill Connect and see what I come up with. A lot of times, you go to Google and it'll fill in the blanks for you.
It will, and if you Google search it, you can. And the other website is the VA website itself. And on the top, there's a link, and if you can type in there, you want to pull up my military record,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm doing right now. And because that's another way to get your military records is through the VA website.
Yeah. Something that I heard, and I hope it's correct back in my area, a lot of military records were lost or came up missing, uh, and hopefully they were found and recovered and what have you. But
Okay.
it was a pretty big story back when I was, doing some investigating.
And I've heard something similar to that. This one I was aware of, it happened while I was in the reserves back after the first Gulf War. Is
Yeah.
they had a terrible fire in New Orleans where they kept the naval records. But yours being Army, I'm not sure if that applied to you. Um, but so Frank, getting back to what we were just talking about, when you type that into the
Yeah.
VA, you're going to see on the very top one it says request your military service record. So I'm going to click on that link, and that's under the search symbol on your VA website.
Uh-huh.
And see it right now. It's telling me to sign into MilConnect, and it says once you go there, you need to do a DS login to your account. So again, that would be your e-benefits. So let me just walk you through this. I know this is like a convoluted step, and trust me, when I did this with service members in my office, I would sit down and I would have the computer right there so they can just do it themselves. But if you have any
Yeah.
questions, please feel free to give me a call, and
I will.
or we can get together. I can sit down in your. We can go over this together.
Okay. Well, my first step is I want to contact this DAB, and then I'm going to see what I can find out by contacting this, going to this Mail Connect site,
Mm-hmm.
and I can find out. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And let me see if it'll let me log in. Because back when I logged in, I was working for the Army, and I had my CAT card. So I'm gonna see if it'll let me log in.
Well, another interesting thing I found out, you have to dream up some crazy passwords and all that kind of thing, and then you have to change it 90 days, every 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
What I've read, but that's okay. I've been through that before.
I mean, it's just like I don't know if they did this when you came off active duty. I mean, yours is back. You came out after the Vietnam War, correct?
Right.
And more recently, because of the security with cyber issues, they've had to, yeah, like you said, it has to be a minimum 14 characters to give you an idea. And like you said, every 90 days I would get an email, and it would say you need to update your password. And so when you update it, it has to be a combination of letters and then characters, just to give you an idea.
Small cap, large cap, numbers, and characters.
Correct. Uh-huh.
Pretty involved, yeah. Well, I mean, once you do it, write it. I always write it down so I won't forget it. Then if you do forget it, you can dream up another one.
True.
Yeah.
And then, so when you when it asks for your DS login, you'll see that on the bottom. And don't forget to click the little box, and that's where I'm trying to find it. Because under there's
that little block tricked me for quite a while. It's under it's very light. I mean, you have to look for it. My eyesight's not what it used to be, but it's under the bold letters, and then right under there's a little square.
There it is.
Check it off before you can sign in.
correct. Roger that. And I just found it. So you would use your regular login like you would go into eBenefits, and once you do that, then you can hit login. Let me see if mine works. Oh, and it says I need to update my password.
Yeah.
So instead of going through that process, but it would be the same login that you use on your eBenefits. Once you get in there, it's going to give you a menu, and you just look for the drop down where it says request my military records, and then once you get that, then you would fill out the data that you need to fill out. It's going to ask you for your name, social security number, and all that information.
Got it. All right. And that brings about another question. I mean, some of our brothers when they work through this stuff, you know.
Well, they would sit down with somebody like me or, our service officer. And I was going to say, is there a VFW post nearby you?
No, I live in Fishers, and I have not, I've looked and I've wondered, but I have not seen anything connected to the military around here in Fishers, you know.
Okay.
I live around 116th and Cumberland.
Oh, okay.
And I have to just about go to Indy. That's about the closest.
Well, believe it or not, we have one in here in Fishers because I'm off of Ellisonville on 116. And so if you were to take 37, so as you're coming down, whatever's easiest. I mean, I would come down 126 from coming from Cumberland. So you go southbound on Cumberland, and once you get to 126, hang that right, and you'll go past the school district office for HSE, and you'll just go over the railroad tracks, and that's going to be after 37. And then there's a stop sign right there at the railroad tracks. And then once you'll see it right there on your left-hand side. I'm sorry, Frank. And that's our VFW office. So yeah, if you need to sit down with somebody, you can get with, say if somebody that needs computer help. Getting back to your question, they would be able to tell you when the service officer is going to be in, how to contact her, and the reason why I said her is because I've had to work with her. She's out of the Noblesville, the downtown where you go and vote. I'm not sure if you vote in Noblesville or not. Down in
not too far from here. The school right off of Hilliard Road and 116th. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And see, they changed mine, but because of where I live, they had us go to Noblesville to vote. Anytime we had to vote. But the address there would be 32 and 10th Avenue, and it's the old courthouse building.
Okay, yeah, I know what that is. Yeah.
And then when you go in, if you wanted to talk to her, you would go in and you could just, let them know you want to talk to the VA rep, and they'll point you in the right direction. And let me see if I can pull up her address for you. I'm giving you a lot of information, so stop me if you have any questions. Yes?
When you give me that, I have another question
Go ahead.
for you that is kind of unrelated. But anyway, I heard talk, it was on the news, about an honor flight where they take Vietnam Air vets once or twice a year, and they fly them out to D.C. to see the wall and all that kind of stuff. Have you heard of anything like that?
I haven't. I mean, I could find out for you.
It's called the honor flight. Because, back in my day, Vietnam wasn't considered a war, it was considered a conflict. And we weren't very popular in those days. But when I first came back to the States, I was kind of reluctant to even wear my uniform. But things have changed now. So.
Thank goodness. I mean, God bless President Reagan for doing that for you guys, because I know it was during his administration that happened, because I remember that, because I was on active duty at that time.
Yeah. Well, in my time, Nixon was the president. He had the Kennedy boys had been, I'll say boys, but anyway, you know what I mean. They had been assassinated. Martin Luther King had been assassinated, and it's a lot of turmoil about that time. But yeah, it was a different day.
And
okay, you have that for me?
I'm still trying to find her information. I know I've emailed her, and for some reason it's not coming up. VA.
If I Googled VA and Fishers, would that give it to me?
Actually, what you can do is, you brought up a good point, because you go into Google, and you want to type in VA Service Officer for Hamilton County. Thanks for reminding me of that. I completely forgot.
Okay. Let me write that down. VA Service Officer in
Hamilton County.
Of Hamilton County.
Correct.
I got it. I got it.
Okay, and I'm doing that as we speak. Yeah, I completely forgot that because I've contacted her via email.
Okay. I'll do that as soon as we hang up.
And as we're talking, apologize, I'm just typing it in here. But getting back to what you were talking about, I remember the whole process of getting you guys recognized, and and I remember that time we went through because as reservists, I don't know if you knew this, but they gave us secondhand equipment, and it took Reagan to update our equipment and everything that we had at that time.
Yeah, it was not a happy time. We were known as, baby killers, and we were disloyal, and we were, a lot of things. But thank God things have changed now, and
Mm-hmm.
we finally kind of getting some of the recognition. It's been going on for a while.
It has, and thank goodness that it has. I mean, you guys deserve it. To come back home and get treated the way that you all did, it wasn't right.
Yeah, yeah.
So Frank, her name is Lynn Epperson, and then the last
Okay.
name I'll spell when you're ready.
Okay, let me write that down.
Sure thing.
Lynn would be Lynn probably.
Yes, sir.
And the last name?
Is Epperson.
Jefferson, huh? Okay.
Yes.
I might not be pronouncing it right, but that's what it looks like. Okay, I got it.
Okay, and let me see if they give me an. You know what? They don't have a phone number on here. Interesting. Oh, here it is. It's 317
Okay.
776
776
9610.
9610. Got it.
Correct. And
All right.
okay. And then she has varied times that she's in. So I would call her office first, and if she doesn't answer, you can leave a voicemail, and just let her know that you'd like to come in and talk to her. And she can actually help you with your benefits as well. I mean, instead of going all the way out to downtown Indianapolis, you can go set up an appointment with her, and just let her know that you're trying to get your benefits set up through the VA, and she'll help walk you through it. She's very thorough. She's the one that's helping me currently with my getting my discharge upgraded to retirement for the Navy.
All right. How many years service did you have?
Oh, the crazy thing is my DD-214. When they look at my total years and my point capture sheet, it says 20 years and 6 months.
Okay.
But according to the Navy, they're saying, well, your reserve time doesn't count, and we only look at your active duty time. But as you and I know, the point capture sheet does take into account for active duty time from reserves, and then it takes your active duty time and puts them all together. And again, so I'm going through her office to help me, get that corrected through the Bureau of Personnel for the Navy.
Yeah. I think the whole council, I was reading through some kind of law and regulations that they have in order to be considered for some of the things that we're trying to do. I think you only have to be active, I think they said 1 day, which is kind of hard to believe, but they said one active duty 1 day, and there were a lot of other things that they had, but I met all that criteria, so.
You have, definitely. And I know exactly what you're talking about because I've had soldiers come to my office with, when they were like, they through boot camp, and then after that, here they are in their first year at a unit, and they come to my office, they're getting discharged, and they ask, do I have any benefits? And I found, like you said, once they've gone through boot camp, even if they get hurt through boot camp, they can claim benefits depending on exactly what they're claiming for. And then, and I've experienced that exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, well, thanks a lot. You gave me a lot to think about. I'm going to get right on it and see what I can run down some of this stuff. You know, when we only have, what, about 5 or 6 weeks of school left, and I'm going to be working on it in the meantime, but after, when school's out, I'm going to jump into this thing with all I got and try to
Okay.
get something going.
And you know what? You can always give me a ring. You have my number, so if I can help you further, you know, with getting your paperwork together, I can help you with that as well.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I appreciate your time.
Okay, Frank, and my pleasure. I'm glad I can help you. And again, for the record, you did give me permission for allow me to record our conversation, correct?
Yeah, certainly. Do whatever you need to, edit it or whatever. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll help me out with my final, with my counseling classes. I'm going through my master's program right now, so yeah, and I appreciate it. So, but again, yeah, and I'm glad I could help. And let me know, yeah, if there's anything that you're snagged, any questions, please give me a call.
I will do that. All right.
All right, man. You have a good one. You take care too. All right, bye bye.